So, this is my story about how I was a cruise ship photographer. So, back in 2012, I was working at Sandals Resorts in Jamaica, Ocho to be precise. And I was good at it, but I wanted a challenge. So, when the opportunity for working on cruise ships arose, I was quick to jump at it because it's more money, tax free, you get to see the world and all that stuff. So yeah, it was quite enticing. So the way how it worked out was that I did a medical through an agency. Then from that agency, I went to a photo company called Image Group, and they were based in Florida, Miami to be precise. And before we started working on ships, we had a 1 week training session with a teacher who was like a photographer before, but she started to work in the head office as a human resources or whatever, like a teacher basically. You see me? So we were like, it was like about 12 of us, like seven Jamaicans and about five other nationalities from Peru, Canada, England. You see me? And we were quite a fun group. We went out on nights after we had classes during the day. You see me? And when we had a test, I got like 100%. I was the only person in the group that got 100%. You see me? I was like, it was like, it was like um, everything to me. You see me? So I was studying hard for the test, reading the manual because they give you a manual about everything, the working environment, the things that you have to do, the techniques. You see me? So yeah, and then a week later after the classes, we started to ship out to our various ships and assignments. Most of us went to Europe, some went to the Caribbean on Disney cruises, but the ones that went to Europe went on celebrity cruises. So that's like a fancy cruise, mostly like older people. You have young people that cruise on that ship during the winter and summer seasons, but for the most part, it's mostly old people or old middle-aged couples and some fairly young couples. So it wasn't fun all the time, and most of the time it was just old people that you had to smudge. Smudge is what they call getting the people to take pictures. You see me say you had to smudge them during the gangways, port of calls, during the nights when they had casual nights and then they had formal nights. So when I started out in Europe, I went to Italy, Greece, Turkey, Montenegro, Croatia, Spain, France, Portugal, you see me, Canary Islands, some Portuguese island where that place where Cristiano Ronaldo is from. I can't remember what it's called. Madeira. Yeah, that island. Yeah, it was fun. Seeing Europe for basically nothing. You just had to work, and I worked my ass off. You see me? What I did to help me, what I did was to learn the guest names. Like as they came to my studios or like on the gangway, I would ask them the names. So the next time I see them, I'll call them by the names, and they'll be like, "Oh wow, Kadeem, you remember our name?" You see me? So it was like building rapport with guests so they can spend more money in the photo gallery because you have the photo gallery and then you have the photography aspect where you shoot. The photo gallery is where the photos are displayed, and we sell photos, DVDs, cameras, what else? Disposable cameras, frames, folios, which are like small booklets that hold a photo of the ship and a photo of like let's say a dining room photo or a studio photo, you see me? And I was fairly good at that, you see me? So after Europe, we went to Caribbean, and this is my first contract, by the way. And we went to St. Martin, Barbados, where else? Dominica, where else? I can't remember. It was mostly Eastern Caribbean islands. You see me? Yeah. And then there was like a Western Caribbean cruise where we went to mostly Central American countries like Costa Rica, Honduras, Belize, Mexico, and Panama. And then in South America, we went to Colombia, Cartagena. You see me? And during that time, the embarkation port was Fort Lauderdale. You see me? So we start in Fort Lauderdale on embarkation day where the guests join the cruise. You see me? And they take the embarkation photos. And then the cruise starts. It's usually like for celebrity cruises, there's normally like 14-day cruises, 16-day cruises, long cruises. So it's like you get paid like, let's say, every 2 weeks. You see me? So the cruises will be like 2 weeks long. So you only get paid like for 14 days, whereas on the shorter cruises like Royal Caribbean, where it's 7-day cruises, you get paid twice in 14 days. So that's like double the pay. And that's what I really wanted, and that's what I went on my second contract when I went on Rhapsody of the Seas, because the photo manager at the time on Celebrity Equinox, his name was Drew Piper, my favorite manager ever. He was like, "Yo, I'm on Rhapsody of the Seas. You have to come. You have to come. You have to come. You have to come." I was like, "Bet." So I had to go to Alaska for that cruise. And when I met them in Alaska, I was tired. So I took the night off. He gave me the night off, which is why I love him so much, isn't it? And during my time on Rhapsody of the Seas, in the early parts, I was waking up late, isn't me, getting to the gangway late for the photos, missing opportunities where I should be getting photos. And yeah, it was tough, but I persevered. And eventually, on that same ship, I got Employee of the Month after a cruise when we left Alaska to go to Hawaii, and then from Hawaii to Australia and the Pacific Islands and those islands around Australia and Tasmania. Is me. I got Employee of the Month during those cruises, and it was hectic because I was learning a lot of guest names. You see me? And during that time, most of the guests would come to me for photos. Like every time they see me, they would like, "Yeah, take my photo." You see me? And I was like, "Of course." I was like a fun, chill guy. Yeah, everybody liked me. And I was like really good at taking pictures too. So that plus my personality was a win-win. And that's why I won Employee of the Month. I got like $1,000 and I bought my first MacBook. And yeah, I really wanted a MacBook because when I was at Sandals, I had this paper in my cupboard where I had a photo of a MacBook, DSLR, and an iPhone. And those were the things that I really wanted of those are the things that I really, really wanted, You see me? So when I won the Employee of the Month, I was like, yeah, bet I'm gonna get a MacBook Pro so I can edit my photos and edit videos and store my photos because I was taking film pictures at the time. So after Rhapsody of the Seas, I went to Explorer of the Seas, and this is where things started to get downhill because on that ship, I met a manager named Parag, and he was like totally sales driven, and I'm not sales driven at all. You see me? So when I didn't make the sales target, he would like tune me out. You see me and say, "Hey, you gotta be making more money," blah blah blah. And there was this one instance where he was calling the photo gallery to talk to me, but the guy that answered the phone was Colombian, and he's like he didn't understand what Parag was saying. You see me? And he didn't realize that Parag wanted to talk to me. So when I went to the phone, nobody was on the phone, and I hung up. And Parag was like upset about it because he wanted to talk to me about some situation I don't know. But I was setting up a photo studio at the time, so I didn't have any time to talk to him. You see me? And then he came up and was like tuning me out and the other guy out about how we're not going to be like photo threes because you have photo one, photo two, photo three. Photo one is like the basic photographer when you just sign on. Photo two is when you start getting commission, and then photo three is when like you're more of like a leader, like you're like the top of the top photographers, you see me, on the ship. So it's like, so he was like, yo, you're not gonna be photo threes. Whatever you are doing in the lab or in the gallery, you can forget about it. And I was like, so pissed, man. Like, you don't know how pissed I was. And funny enough, at the end of the Colombian guy's cruise, his contract, Parag was like, tell you what, after all the hard work you've done, you're gonna be photo three. And I was like, what? After he told us that we're not gonna be photo threes, that was like a stab in the back, and I was like fucked up. You see me? And I was like, yeah, this guy is a cunt. And I was like, yo, I don't like this guy. So he left, and another manager came in, and he was like, I think his name was Sijo. He was like an Indian. He was like another Indian as well, but he was like really chill. He was like cool. He helped me out a lot, and he helped me to get onto the bigger ship, which was Oasis of the Seas, because I wanted to be on the money ship. That ship is like 7 day cruises, Eastern Caribbean, Western Caribbean, mostly. That time, the Oasis class ships they weren't in Europe. You see me? So it was like mostly Caribbean cruises. So that's like young people, kids. So it's like fun, but it's a big ship. It's like 6,000 or so people and like 2,000 crew. Just like big. And when I got onto it, I was like so lost. Like that was the end for me. I was like getting late to photo studios. I was drunk most of the time because I was like, yo, I can't work on the ship sober because there's so many people that you have to see, and then when you see them, you don't see them again on the cruise. So it was hard to make sales for me. I couldn't make sales on the spot. I have to build like a report. I have to build a relationship. I have to get to know them. Be like almost friends. But on this ship, it's like they come to go, they come to go, they come to go, and you never see them again during the 7 days. Like you see one guest the first day of the cruise, and it's like you don't see them again until like the last day of the cruise. So it's hard to build relationships with them. So that was a bummer, and it totally sucked at that, and that was the end of and that was the end for me. I was like, yeah, I can't do this no more. This is no fun. And I was like, yeah. Nowadays, I don't know how they do it. I don't think image is there anymore. So it's like in-house now. Normally it was image, but now it's like Royal Caribbean owned, I think. So yeah, that was just my time, and I would do it again, surely. And I surely need the money now, but yeah, that's like once in a lifetime thing. That's something you have to do when you're young. So yeah, that's just my story. Peace.